Hey moms, welcome to the Gather Moms podcast. My name is Kate.
And I'm Rebecca. We've created this space just for you because we're both moms and we get you.
Yes, we believe there truly ain't no hood like the motherhood, and we need to be in this together. We also believe we can't mom well without Jesus, so you're going to hear us talk about him too.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Gather Moms and make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a single episode.
All right, mamas, let's jump in. Hey mamas, welcome to part 2 of Help, I Want a Better Morning. A couple of notes before we dive in. 1, you may be wondering, why are these girls doing part 1 and 2s? Well, we've heard from all of you that around a 30-minute podcast is ideal for you. So as we've almost doubled that with these last 2 episodes, we're splitting it up so it's the most optimal length for you. And 2, this week, we especially didn't want you to miss what we talk about by sticking it at the end of a long episode, because we have something we are kicking off Wednesday, September 28th, just for you. We had such a big response from all of you on social saying you want help with your mornings that we are doing a Good Morning Gather challenge. So on Wednesday, September 28th, go to Gather Moms Social and comment on the Good Morning Gather launch post. Say, I'm in. We're challenging each other to do 4 things for 1 week to make our mornings better. You'll hear what those 4 things are in this episode. When you comment on the post, and then each time you post about the challenge and use the hashtag GoodMorningGather, you will be entered to win our awesome giveaway. So now, let's jump back in on our conversation as Rebecca starts to share some specific with us about how to have better mornings.
If we let the day start when someone else decides, then we lose our control of that direction.
Okay.
So if I wait for my kids to wake up, I don't have a choice anymore. I really am just trying to meet needs and get people where they need to go. Mm-hmm. And so I think for moms, we have to decide, do I want that time alone? Do I want that time when the house is quiet or when my kids are not up for me to think clearly about what's going to benefit me today? Mm. Or do I want my first thought to be that kid standing next to my bed going, I need breakfast. Mm-hmm. I don't feel good. I can't find my shoes, whatever it might be. So I need to start my day because I want a voice in how that happens. So as I was researching several ideas on how you do this, the first one is that you do have to choose to wake up. And I thought this was so interesting. He said that the night before, we usually kind of calculate how many hours of sleep we're going to get.
Yeah.
So if I get in bed at 10, I'm like, okay, well, if I go to bed at 10:30 and I get up at 7, then I get this many hours of sleep. Mm-hmm. And he said, if you go to bed even later, you're like, I'm only going to get 5 hours of sleep or 4 hours of sleep.
Everyone is doing math at 11 o'clock, midnight. Yeah.
And then you're dejected before you even get to sleep.
For sure.
So he said, you have to change your perspective and say, okay, great. I'm going to get 5 hours of sleep tonight. It's going to be the best 5 hours. I can't wait to wake up.
Oh, gosh.
And he said, you'll be amazed.
You're just going to lie to yourself?
Yes. He said, you'll be amazed at how when that's the last thought in your mind and then you wake up, it's the first thought on your mind. Oh my gosh, I got 5 hours of sleep. Awesome.
Wow. Okay.
So it's just that whole glass half full, glass half empty.
Okay. That's a good thing for me to remember when I'm doing the math, that I just go, okay, well, I'm going to get 6 hours. That's great. I'll make the best of it.
Decide before you go to bed that you're not going to hit the snooze.
Okay.
You're just going to get out of bed because you know that the extra 9 minutes of sleep is not helpful anyway. And once that alarm goes off, your brain's already, which for me sometimes it's even the sunshine. Like as soon as the sunshine hits my room, I'm just already in that wake up mode. So just get up. Okay. Just do it. Movement matters. So I read some research that talked about like staying in your bed to kind of plan your day or, tell yourself an affirming thought or something. I just really disagree with that because I think if I'm staying in my bed, it's telling my body, okay, take your time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So you got to get up. And even if that just means you move to the couch, just get up and move.
Well, and that's what, like even today, this morning when I got up and unfortunately, I got up and grabbed my coffee and made sure the girls were up. And then I sit in a reading chair in my room, and that's where I spend the time with the Lord. But I know that if I stay in my bed, it changes everything.
Yeah, you can't do it. Also read that you should drink a whole glass of water.
Yes.
Which we've talked about that before.
That's right.
And this is so smart. I just don't even know why we don't process this. You've just been without like liquid for 6 to 8 hours. You're dehydrated.
Mm-hmm. Before the coffee too, that it should be the first thing that you drink is a full glass of water. Yeah.
Yes. And then it talked about exercise in the morning is so important. And what I love, because when I imagine exercise in the morning, I see all you amazing people out there running your mile and like sweating it up while I'm like walking around in my robe. But it said it's not like go run for an hour, but it's just get your heart pumping.
Okay.
So it can be even 10 minutes.
Okay.
10 minutes of stretching or yoga or jumping jacks.
Cool.
That's doable to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can do that. If I want to go exercise for an hour, I can do it later in the day.
Okay.
But if I could just do something in the morning for 10 minutes that just got my heart pumping,
Yeah.
it's like your body's getting ready for the day.
Okay.
Also, internal indicators. So not only are we trying to get our outward body going, drinking water, moving, exercising, but we're trying to get the inside of our body to kind of take a moment of clarity before we begin our day. And so some of the examples they gave were sitting in silence, which is so hard for anybody to do. Like I dare you to try that because even just trying to keep my mind from thinking about something, silence is so hard. Journaling, just real quick, what am I thankful for? What's happening? How do I feel this morning? Affirmations. Okay, so this is where I kind of get into like the world side of it. And
Sure.
I'm like, tell yourself you're beautiful.
I know, but all these things that you've listed, these are all biblical concepts.
Exactly.
Right? Because meditating, that comes from the Lord, right?
Yes.
And being still before him, be still and know that I'm God, right?
Yes.
That comes from him. Affirmations come from the Lord. So it's not saying, I'm a boss babe, right? Which that's our culture. It's instead saying, I am a child of God.
Exactly.
He has provided everything I need today, right? Some of
Yes.
those truth statements that we get from the Bible.
Because it's so funny when you read self-help books and
Yeah.
they're like, tell yourself you're going to be successful today, whatever you put your mind to.
Yeah.
And it's to me, it's ironic because I'm like, this is the Bible. You guys are just moving the words around,
Yeah.
but it's just telling God, okay, I recognize that I'm your child today.
Yeah.
Do your work,
Yeah.
whatever you want to do through me. And then, of course, prayer.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that for moms, if I were you, I would grab onto this just to decide that the amount of time you pray is important. And that if you wait until your day gets started, you can still pray because we can pray without ceasing all day.
Of course.
But those are what I attribute to tossing a ball. Like we're just tossing a prayer up to God in the pickup lane,
Yeah.
trying to find the lost shoe. I can't find my keys. I'm late for this. And there's nothing wrong with that, but there is something to be said for intentional, prolonged time of prayer.
Yeah, I'm with you. So just something really practical that I do that helps me with these things that you're talking about is after I spend time with the Lord, I get down in child's pose on my face, on my carpet next to my bed, and I say to the Lord, this is your day. I know you're going to provide everything I need. You are God, I am not. And I breathe in and out until I feel like I've released everything that I woke up holding on to. And then I either lay there and pray for the kids, or then as I'm making my bed, then I start praying about the day. But I've been using our Patreon 30 Days of Prayer in that time in my morning and have spent that praying over the kids. And I have noticed as I've been doing that as a habit, then I'm praying about that all day long for them. And then what's been so sweet is I told them all, hey, I'm doing this. So like last night, even when I was tucking them in, I said, hey, today I've been praying that you would find favor with God and with man and that you would grow in wisdom and stature. And so I'm going to pray that over you tonight. And so as they each lay in their bed, then I'm praying that over them because it started my day with that. And now I'm ending my day with it because my mind was on the right things.
I love that. That's so good. Because that's something that evenings are worse for me. I just struggle because I'm so tired.
Yeah.
So sometimes I don't even put the kids to bed. I'm just like, you know where your bed is.
Yeah.
Go find it.
Sure.
So I love that when you start your day with intentionality, you can finish your day with intentionality. I think that's so good. So just a couple things just to kind of, I don't know if this is like challenging, hurtful, harsh, bold, encouraging.
I mean, bring it. Don't sugarcoat it. What you got, girl?
Discipline creates lifestyle.
Yes.
So if you don't care, your life's going to reflect it.
Well, and this is the other thing. I know I've quoted Atomic Habits 3 times, but he says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And so if I if I decide I'm going to be a morning person, then it's not just about the goal. It's what system is in place. What disciplines do I need to put in place to become that person?
Exactly. It takes effort and planning. You can't just wake up and decide you're going to do it.
Yeah.
You actually have to sit down the day or 2 days or a week before and go, okay, this is what I want for my lifestyle. So this is what I'm going to put in place to help me get there. Next one, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And listen, these are like hitting me hard because for the last whatever months, I have been no discipline and I've been real comfortable.
Yeah.
So if I want to experience the fullness that God has for me, I got to put in some work.
That's good.
And then this last one, this is by Henry David Thoreau. Things do not change, we change.
Things do not change, we change. That's
Your
good.
your mornings are not going to change.
Yeah.
They're always going to be hectic. There's always going to be kids needing something. There's always going to be mishaps that we cannot plan for.
Yeah.
But we can change.
We change our mornings.
We can change our mornings. So what stops us from doing this? One, lack of urgency. I just think our human nature is just to kind of live with, well, someday.
Yeah.
Someday I'll do it. Next week I'll do it. Next month I'll do it. Maybe in the summer I'll do it. So we just can't do that. Now matters more than any other time in our life, like today. Yeah. Because what you are doing today is determining who you're becoming.
That's exactly right. And I've heard it said that we are trading what we want for what we want now. Because we may say, okay, I want to be this type of person. But then when you have to wake up at 5:30, what you want now is to go back to sleep, right?
Exactly.
Or you want to be healthier and for your body to feel better. So you decide, okay, I'm not going to eat fried food, but then you get really hungry and you have PMS and you want it now, right? So you trade what you want for what you want now. And we have to fight back against that urgency in the moment and remember what we truly want. Who do we want to become?
Yes. Lack of accountability too.
Yeah.
I just think very little happens in our life without somebody walking alongside us. And this is so interesting. Imagine the first 18 years of your life. You had a parent that made you accountable.
Yeah.
And they are the ones that helped you get up, do your stuff, turn in your homework, get a job,
Yeah.
pay your bills. So for some of us, we didn't like that so much that in our adult life, we're like, I'm not doing that ever
doing what I
again.
want,
I'm
yeah.
doing what I want. But are we getting things done?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
We need some accountability.
Yeah.
Moms, we are your accountability.
Yeah.
We are here for you.
Yes, we are.
So one of the things we thought would be so fun is if we took this challenge on together.
Okay, yes, because we were talking about this and I need the accountability. And I think it would be cool for us to do a good morning challenge.
Good morning.
You like that?
Yes, I do.
Let's call it the Good Morning Challenge. So when are we going to kick this off? The Wednesday after the podcast episode comes out.
Okay,
right?
let's start that Wednesday. I think 7 days. I did read so much research on how you create habits, and it takes way more than 21 days. They said that 21-day thing is a lie, man. You got to do it for like 60. But I think, 7's probably more doable for us.
Okay.
And I think what I read is not that there's a certain amount of time you have to wake up before your family, but you just decide what's going to be beneficial to you. So just moms, for example, I started this morning. I woke up 30 minutes ahead of my family.
Okay.
I went in my living room and sat on my couch, and I just kind of sat in silence for a little bit and just got my bearings.
Okay.
I did some stretching.
Okay.
I wasn't doing jumping jacks, but I was like, ooh, this body kind of aches. I'm going to stretch some stuff out.
Uh-huh.
I read my Bible and I said my prayers.
Okay.
And that was 30 minutes.
Okay.
And then when the alarm, like my alarm for my kids went off, I was ready.
Okay.
So I don't think it has to be 4 a.m., but it's funny how people say, once you start doing it, you love it so much, you just want to get up earlier. I don't know if that's going to be me.
I don't know about that. Okay, so what is the challenge? The challenge is to do let's see, be quiet. What are the 5 things?
Well, that's okay. That's where all different people have different things that they do. I
Okay.
mean, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever you want to say. So what we could do is we could post in our show notes the different options. And
Okay.
I don't think everybody has to do all of them. I think you need to pick, again, what's going to be beneficial for you.
Okay.
I honestly think what we talked about with getting yourself moving, you have to get out of bed and you have to get your heart pumping.
Okay.
So there's something you need to be doing. You can't just go sit and, you could. But I think it's so beneficial to get your body moving. I think internally you need to do something to process, which could be journaling, silence, meditation, prayers, those types of things. And then I just think you could pick something else that just might fill your bucket, just might be like, do you want to look at your calendar for the day?
Yeah.
Do you want to pray every day for a different person, like a friend? there's lots of different options. But for me, what I did today was the silence, the exercise, the journaling, and the prayers.
I honestly think those are really good. I think honestly that everybody could benefit from those 4. And I like the structure of that. And I like saying either commit to 30 minutes or an hour before your kids get up to do those 4 things. And that will be our challenge for 7 days.
I think we need to all report back that
Yeah.
we're doing it
Yeah.
so that we all know, because that's what accountability is for. Like, accountability sound really good. You have to like tell your friend I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I slept through my alarm. So
Well, I think we should do a hashtag. We'll put all the rules to our challenge on our social, and in these show notes. But I think we should have our moms tag us Good Morning Challenge or
ooh,
whatever.
let's call it Good Morning Gather.
Oh, Good Morning
Ooh,
Gather.
that sounds good.
And for 7 days, and then the moms that enter and do the challenge, let's do some giveaways for them.
Prizes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a motivator.
Okay,
Except
good.
I can't win because I'm
Honestly,
in Gather.
my favorite thing that you said this whole time that is going to stick with me and help me get out of bed in the morning is that the first hour of my day sets the course of my day. And so that will help me get up and get going. And the other thing is I want to make the most of the days that the Lord has given me. I don't get the day again. And I want to be effective for the kingdom. And I want to be healthy and strong. And so I want to do it.
Well, and listen, if you're a mom out there and you kind of related to my story at the beginning because maybe you have worked before or you're, partially working now or whatever it might be, and you just kind of feel like, has God forgotten me? Am I lost? Is he done? Like, is there nothing left? Honestly, I want to say to you the answer is no. God has not forgotten you. He sees you exactly where you are. He has purpose for where you are right now. He's not going to tell you what's next all the time, but he has something next. But in the waiting, you can still be productive. And so by taking a hold of your mornings and deciding that that's important, that's a way for you to say, I trust that God has something for me, and I'm going to be active in the waiting. You can do it.
That's good. I love it.
Okay, moms, we're so glad you joined us today for our mornings.
Yes.
And we are praying that you have the best mornings coming your way over the next 7 days as we tackle this challenge together.
Yes, and we are going to drop in the book that Rebecca referred to and all of that information in the show notes. So as always, check those out.
Okay, see you later.
Bye, moms.
Thanks for joining us for part 2 of our Help, I Need Better Mornings. We want you to join us for our Good Morning Gather challenge. And so what we'd love for you to do is go ahead and get on social media and let us know that you're joining the challenge. You can tag @GatherMoms. Part of our Good Morning Challenge is going to be that we get up 30 minutes to an hour before our families because we know that time alone is so important. And then we're going to challenge you to do 4 things. First is silence, that you just find a place to just sit and be silent. Second is to get moving, exercise, and it doesn't matter what you're doing, just give yourself a good 10 to 15 minutes of getting your heart pumping. Third is going to be journaling, and journaling is so important because it's a chance for us to record what we're thankful for and what's happening in our life. Because after these 7 days, we want you to be able to go back and see the progress that you've made. And then fourth is prayer, that you would spend some time praying about what's going on in your life and just allowing the Lord to speak back to you about what he has in store for you. So join us for our Good Morning Gather challenge. Make sure to tag us on social media and use the hashtag Good Morning Gather. Thanks, moms.